Welcome back to normal world. Wait, don't leave. It's Dave. Switch to him. No, that's not Dave. No, switch to him. There he is.
Hi.
Dave Landau.
Ow.
Hi, everyone.
Woo.
I've had a lot of deaths recently.
Yeah.
So I haven't been in, but I will be back in next week. But I'm here now as well.
Yeah.
And so thank y'all for watching.
Dave doing a little secret project. Can't talk about it. Talk about it maybe in the future.
That's true.
What you can do right now, though, is you can get Dave's book. It's out right now anywhere books are sold. I hear, right? Is it in Barnes & Noble and like brick and mortar stores?
I think there are some places you can buy it at brick and mortar because
awesome.
I've seen it on Goodreads, so I guess it is.
Hell yeah.
But I don't know for sure if you go where I don't even know what section they put it in.
Self-help. You can get it on his website and on Amazon. Go there. And with us as well, Gerard. Just filling in. Wow. Wearing those shoes.
Yeah. 4-quarter white Gerard here.
Right.
What's happening, everybody? It's good
There's
to be
no
here.
way that's true.
There's a little bit of tar brush in there.
Is that right?
I can feel it.
Well, it is true. The most dangerous place on earth is between me and a bucket of fried chicken. So
Everybody likes chicken.
You can't say that.
Yes.
what? We just established something.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we've just found out we're all the same.
That's the message.
Some of us just don't use headphones when they talk on the phone in the airport.
Some of us changed the batteries of our
smoke detectors.
Ebony and ivory, eating chicken in perfect harmony. Oh, that was wow.
Hey, man.
Wow.
We got another job here. Like and subscribe on this. Tongue punch for that melody right there. We appreciate you. And if you wanted to go see Dave in real life, Dave, where would people go?
They can come this weekend to Jacksonville, Florida. I'm going to be there at the Comedy Zone. Matt McClary will be with me. And next week, I'm going to Calgary, Alberta in Canada, where you can come out. I don't know if I'll be able to get in or out of that country. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, aren't they doing like arresting people for free speech right now?
Yeah.
Yes,
are you going to be okay, buddy?
It's Alberta, Canada for now. After the elections, there's a big separatist movement rising.
Civil War.
Yeah, the North shall rise again, I suppose. The North's North, which is our South.
Yes.
What are they going to fight with?
I don't know. That's
Ice
good.
picks.
Well, they have guns.
Like a moose?
Didn't they? They
Stuff?
used to
I thought
have
they got
guns.
rid of the guns.
They're wildlings
probably
north
did.
of the wall. I assume they have magic.
Actually, I don't know what's going on up there. And as always, the best Angela
Aw.
in the studio.
Best Angela in the studio.
best.
Thank you. That's high praise. Thank you.
Yes. And you have a YouTube channel as well, don't you?
I do. Thank you. It's Angela Does Horror on YouTube. If you're into horror movies and books and things like that, check me out. Normal Angela on Instagram. Thank you.
There you go. Gerard, where also, I didn't ask you this. Where do people find you? You have a podcast. You have 3 podcasts.
3 podcasts, yeah. Gerard versus Evil, if you like when I talk about politics and current events. Slick and Thick with the great Mickey Gall, if you like us talking about pop culture and sports. And Canceled Weekly with friend of the program, Candace Horback, if you like talking about things that get you canceled weekly.
Love it.
Yeah. And also, thanks to the Normal World fans, last time I came here, I begged, like the impotent X account I am, and you guys made me more girthy. So I do appreciate you helping my flaccid X account. I'm quite impressive and veiny on Instagram, but my YouTube and my X are very flaccid.
Let's
so
pump that up.
I do appreciate you guys, blue chewing my X and my YouTube for me. That was very nice of you.
Yeah, our audience is
Fluffing
fully
it out.
erect.
Yeah.
Tongue punching.
They're
my X.
always pretty upright. Not all of them, but some of them. Enough.
Yeah, most of
Look, it's fine. It looks the big ones hurt.
Yeah, women don't like that.
Yes, we've heard.
No,
Yeah,
no, they're
that's
gross.
like it nice.
Yeah. That's
In medium,
that's what I've heard.
average.
Yeah, it's
so many times.
Medium is best.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Are we talking length, diameter,
All of
width?
the above. Yeah. I just medium.
Medium.
Yeah.
Medium with the width of a jack-o'-lantern.
I also have a feeling her definition of medium and our definition of medium It's not the same.
Might be a little different. Comment below what your
What's your definition of medium?
is.
I don't know if that's good or bad what you just said.
Soup can, that's medium, right?
Soup can.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Wait, in
Whole
girth or
watermelon?
length?
Yeah. Anyway,
Soda can. That's just what's going on here.
speaking about tuna cans, should we talk about Bill Belichick?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do just that.
You mean how his tuna can keeps interrupting him in interviews? I'm sorry, you go ahead.
Bill Belichick's girlfriend, I believe her name is Jordan. Last name doesn't matter.
It also sounds like she's 13, like she is.
Yeah, Bill Belichick's 75-year-old Bill Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend.
This is love.
Traded in her gosh PJs for a baby boss suit and became his manager. Belichick agreed to do a sit-down with Tony DeCouple. Is that right? DeCouple?
DeCouple, I'd say that as well. That's good.
Yeah.
I have no idea, but I wrote it down.
Of CBS Mornings, which is apparently a show and a station still, to promote his new book, The Art of Winning. It turned into an L, at least PR-wise, when his 24-year-old girlfriend interrupted the interviewer asking Bill how they met. We're told outside of that baffling moment that made the final edit, there were numerous other instances of Hudson butting in. Even when the legendary coach was answering questions about football, she would stop and correct him. And according to TMZ, there's apparently 30 minutes of her walking out and waiting for Bill to follow her before she came back in and they continued the awkward interview. This is the greatest football coach maybe of all time. We're watching his downfall in real time. QB, Dave?
What is going on?
Well, they say behind every great man is a 24-year-old gold-digging piece of shit. She just seems awful. Like, even when she's walking out on him and everything, I'm watching it. Like, she now wants to control. She wants to manage him, and it's like, he's a manager. You can't do that. Like, it's just going to be the downfall. It's the best way to put it.
Well, he's getting old, He's going to go senile, so she's trying to just get in there, start managing his life.
Do you guys want to see the clip just for context?
Oh my God,
I have a
yes.
little bit. It's
Yeah,
from a
watch
news.
the clip.
It's
Yeah.
from a news story, but you can see
okay.
what people are talking about. Okay, here it is.
She's very Baldwin-esque.
Not talking about this.
Bill Belichick's girlfriend, Jordon Hudson, awkwardly interrupted his CBS Sunday morning interview
not
over a
talking
question
about
about the
this.
pair's relationship.
Look at those eyes.
Journalist Tony DeCouple asked the football
DeCouple,
coach
that's
how
what I
he and his
said.
24-year-old
What
girlfriend
is he?
Look at that
Look
shirt.
at him.
Before he could
Look at that
respond,
shirt.
Hudson interrupted off camera.
How did you guys meet? Not talking about this. No.
Just
She
say you
said
met
I
on a
sh-
yacht.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on.
How did they meet, though?
He's wearing his girlfriend's shirt in the interview.
They claim to have met on an airplane, which is hilarious.
Okay.
And
Her flight over?
even more hilarious for for sports fans, Belichick is known for not letting anybody have control over the organization. And one of the reasons that he wasn't hired in this last cycle is because he wanted to be the general manager of the team. And now he's being general managed by a 24-year-old, at best, sugar baby, at worst, pay by the hour girl.
Oof.
And that's why I think it's nice that she did jump in, because he is paying by the hour. So might as well get your money's worth here.
Snap, snap, bring it.
Well, they both have the same size tits, and I think that's important to mention.
They can share, yeah.
Yeah, they can share bras.
Yeah.
They probably talk about all kinds of stuff that they relate to. Like, he can talk about his dad in World War II, and she can talk about Bluey.
TikToks.
I have some balls laughing at this when I've had the biggest tits in every relationship I've ever been in. But he is unequivocally the greatest football coach of all time, which makes this about 1 billion to 0. Pussy is undefeated. Is that
Pretty powerful.
Woo! Yeah.
Give it to her.
undefeated?
You can't
Women
just.
can take. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I think you're proving the point right now.
We're not talking about this.
I was gonna say you can't marry or date a hot chick and expect them to stay quiet forever.
Even
which
that
I
guy-
guess is
Even your puppet was afraid of you. It was like, I don't want to get in the way of this. Yeah, this is the same week that Shannon Sharpe got taken down by a floozy, which is hilarious because Katt Williams in the interview on Club Shay Shay was like, the only thing in the world I'm afraid of is a white woman.
And then boom.
You could be Kang the Conqueror, and that woman will take you down in 2 weeks and 2 tweets.
The more time and the more distance between that interview and now, I'm just saying he was right about a lot of things. Katt?
I would say
he was like...
He was dead on about a lot of things.
Everything.
And people were like, oh, this is crazy. He's being crazy. He's talking... Don't listen to him. Just saying.
He was spot on about all of it. Yeah. And yeah, she likes to be choked, and apparently after that... You can't choke a hot young girl you're dating. She's just telling you to choke her so later she can say she didn't want you to choke her.
Yeah, it's blackmail.
That's
not
never.
Make good choices out there, guys.
I've never choked anybody because they've never wanted my money that I don't have.
Have you been able to get this far into Hollywood, as Katt Williams said, without giving up the mouth or the butt?
Nobody's offered. If I walk into no, it's not a no. If I walk in and they're like, listen, you got a cream pie Reginald Vell Johnson like they did to Will Smith, well, batter up. I don't...
Angela, can you pull up the picture of Will Smith on my timeline?
Has that been confirmed?
It hasn't been confirmed, but it's been alleged.
It's been alleged that they made Will Smith...
Look at this photo. Angela's going to pull up a photo of Will
Twitter?
Smith that I tweeted out a couple days ago, and it'll just prove Dave's point. Please go on while we
Carl Winslow? Was that Carl Winslow?
Carl Winslow? Yeah.
Also the cop in Die Hard, who was like, I will do anything except go upstairs. I'll be out here by the car.
No, sir. You couldn't drag me away. Which is also what he said to Will Smith.
Yes. Yeah, apparently there was, in a Diddy party, somebody walked into a door and he was getting it from, I don't know.
Oh, is this,
these are rumors.
Is this the famous, it was murder in there?
Yeah.
Is that the famous?
Yes, murder in his ass was the term, which they rarely say murder unless you've really opened up things. I mean, you really have to.
It's got to be splat on the walls. There's a whole crime scene.
Yeah, it's murder. There's tarps down. There's Urkel. Yeah, I don't know.
Comparatively, it doesn't make Bill Belichick paying for a floozy to drag him around in a leash seem. You know what? You're 75 years old. You got to pay a couple bucks to have a 24-year-old smoke show. There's worse ways to spend your money, right?
Though? But why? I feel like he would be able to like pull any lady. He didn't have to pay for it.
Did people think the 24-year-old smoke show was with Bill Belichick for love?
No, but I'm saying like he didn't have to pay for it. He's not an ugly old man. He's a handsome old man. I'm sure he's got a lot of money. Just walk up in the club and be like, yo, what's up?
See, I feel like he had to pay for it.
Okay, explain.
Because he's 75 years old. And
I don't know.
He's built like a claymation from the 90s.
Let me put it this way. Even if he doesn't have to pay for it, he's going to pay for it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He's not explicitly paying for it.
But they're all paying for. Every one of us are paying for it.
Hey,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well,
but
this isn't winning anybody.
At least it's not a Jerry Sandusky thing, or Barry Sandusky who swipes picnic baskets.
Yeah, Jerry Sandusky, another fantastic football coach brought down by hot young. Anyway,
hot young tail.
Did you find it?
Sorry, you posted a lot. I had old ones pulled up on here. Yeah,
I tweet like
every time I come on this show, I get further and further from heaven.
Oh yeah,
I feel
Get out of here.
Distance.
Hot young shower tail. Well, I mean, it could be worse, but I mean, I don't get why you would allow her to manage your career. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I get it. He's old. Do it. Do whatever you want. But even to be in a relationship, that's strange to me. It wouldn't be weird if he was just knocking down. Oh my God, I was right.
I told you, it proved Dave's point.
What are we doing?
This is Will Smith doing Will Smith things. If you could scroll down just a little bit so you could see that he's not just sitting on something normal.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
this is his audition for Men in Black.
Yeah.
I think that's Black in Men.
This is what Jada will do to you.
Yeah. I know that there's an alternate timeline somewhere where he's sitting across from Jada on that red desk interview and he gets up and he he finds his inner Sean Connery, and everything woke dies in the moment, you know. And
that's why he smacked Chris Rock. He didn't smack Jada.
Oh,
saved it up.
That's a very interesting theory. That was that misplaced violence thing.
Yeah.
You know, the bully bullies you at school because the dad's bullying him type of deal.
Exactly.
So he beat up Chris Rock because Chris Rock is more feminine than his wife.
Because you can't hit your wife. You can hit Chris Rock.
Right, yeah.
Decades of my Irish breeding tell me that's where you're wrong, Chip.
Wow. We live in a different world now, Gerard.
No, we used to be a proper country.
All right, can we see that picture again?
No.
Please, and everybody.
It's already done. Hang on one second.
Pull it back up, please. It's important that we put it up, and everybody just start naming Will Smith movies it could be. Please pull it back up. I need to see this.
All right.
All right. Very Bad Boys. Who's next?
That's what I was gonna go.
Bitch instead of hitch.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
Ali, that's big.
Wild
West, damn it!
Wild West.
Yeah.
The Pursuit of Gappiness.
I am legend.
7 pounds of cock. Hancock.
Hancock.
You don't have to change the name.
Hancock.
You don't even have to change the name on that one. Just
Hand me a
keep it
cock.
It's just so sad to be. Man.
Oh, don't stop. Look at that. Okay.
The saddest part to me when all that was going down. The saddest part to me when all that went down was when he was doing something for Instagram or whatever for himself, and Jada was doing something for Instagram on her camera, and she was recording him while he was recording, and he got so mad about it. He was like, Jada, you know this is my bread and butter. This is my bread and butter. I'm like, Will Smith, social media is your bread and butter?
All right, well, you know what
happened?
Right. And he should completely lean into it. I mean, how much money would the Will Smith OnlyFans make? Just go OF.
He was $20 million a movie in the 90s.
Oh, yeah,
I can't imagine. I guess maybe though.
It's because he was
now.
clean. He's gotta do a clean OnlyFans.
Well, allegedly, if you believe the internet, which is never wrong, he's a closeted Scientologist. So I don't know how much of that money he actually has.
Yeah.
And we all know Scientology is definitely not a pray away the gay program.
For sure.
No.
So
that's
I mean, John Travolta
That's what
is
you have the
proof of
cans
that.
for. You hold the cans.
Yes.
yeah,
And that's
So you're not holding
enlighten
dicks.
you.
very much.
Exactly.
Although,
fill your hands with cans.
speaking of people like you were saying, Katt Williams vindicated before. How vindicated has Tom Cruise been? All things
Hollywood?
considered, when people were like, he's the craziest guy in Hollywood, he might be like top 3 most sane people in Hollywood 15 years, 20 years.
That interview when he was talking about SSRIs back like 20 years ago. That's a fantastic clip.
What, the glib thing?
Yeah, you're glib.
No.
I just disagree.
He's talking. He's on point with what he's talking about. He's saying like we're pumping all of our kids with all of these SSRIs and
Yeah, but
pills.
he was giving somebody a hard time for taking medication when she had postpartum depression and anxiety. Like, I don't think that's the hero.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Oh, I think he was right. I think he was right.
I think there's cases that need it and cases that don't. Like, I get his point that not a lot of people were saying that.
Yeah.
I thought Jim Carrey I still do, and his girlfriend, what's her name?
Jimmy McCarthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were nuts. I mean, I do. I can't imagine. I know she has an autistic son, and I imagine the 3 of them at dinner, if you had to guess which one was autistic, you never could.
Well, he's moved on to like 5 of the girls by now. He's had 2 of them,
Off themselves because he gave them herpes.
I heard it might be something a bit more, but it's definitely viral in nature. Apparently, allegedly, according to the internet.
Which is always
Yeah. I don't know. I can see his point, but I can see Angela's too. I'm going to be moderate.
Wow. So brave.
I know that fits. Love the fence.
Which is Sit on the Fence might be the name of Will Smith's next movie, apparently.
Speaking of people just riddled with diseases, Crispin went to Coachella. Can we play?
Yes.
Let's see what he has to say.
Hey everybody, it's Crispin, and this week the gang sent me to Coachella. Well, I was supposed to go to Coachella, but then I lost my chain wallet at the bus stop and I couldn't find my ID, so I've been stranded here ever since. It's been almost 45 minutes since I've had a proper meal, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Just this morning I had to boil my boots into a stew because a hobo stole my pocket pickles while I was resting my eyes. As I record this, a homeless man who calls himself Bill Wonka is making eye contact with me while he... shits himself. You know, in a way, this cum-covered shanty town of a bus stop is kind of like Coachella. There's a lady with too much makeup on who thinks she's a demon, a hippie with shit in his pants, and a dead person in a nearby tent. If that's not Coachella, then I don't know what is. Before I sign off, I'd like to give a shout out to my father, former Canadian hockey player Patrick Waugh. See you next time.
We spent a lot of money on those tickets.
Sorry, I'm glad he let us know who his father is. We did send him there, and I don't think he went. I think he just always ends up doing sexual acts at bus stations.
I don't know why we keep doing it, but
As Patrick Waugh would want.
That
was my elbow rubbing up against the couch, by the way. I did not.
That was not the chair.
Did not poop.
Look, I could do it too.
I get accused of farting in that chair all the time, and I don't. And I would admit it if I did. But you would know if I did.
Trying to do it, and come on,
you
chair.
Can't replicate it. You can't replicate it. Hey, you guys like good sleep? Dave, I know you do, because you have the same sheets that I do.
That's right, I do.
That's right.
That's
Miracle
correct.
Made Sheets. They're the sponsor for today's episode. And they're beautiful sheets made by beautiful people. And we appreciate them for supporting our channel.
They're
and
inspired by NASA.
They're inspired by NASA. I was going to say that. And if at night, if you like to sleep cold like I do, they make things a little chilly because they're infused with like silver and stuff like that. I don't even know how they do that, but they know how to do it. So you can have your own set by going to Miracle Made.
No,
TryMiracle.com. It's just TryMiracle.
/conservative, friends.
Wait. Yeah. Oh, is that the new slash? It's a new slash.
It's a new slash.
We got a new slash.
It's a new slash where we don't get credit, but
that's a little weird. This is the second time they tried to do that to us. Who's Rick? Who's slash Rick?
I don't know who this. I don't know who this Rick Public. What is it?
It was Rick.
Conservative?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Conservative.
Well, all I know is the other night I was seriously going to go to bed and I did not like the sheets I had, so I decided to use the Miracle Maids and I cooled right off.
Bro.
I did. I cooled right off and I had never felt so alive, but
They're
also tired.
Antibacterial.
It's so good going into summer.
Yeah.
You just want that cool sheet feeling.
You don't want that
cool
swamp
pillow.
ass while you're trying to sleep. Nuh-uh. Get yourself a pair.
Your sweat just wicks off you as you watch Ricks. As you watch your typewriter turn into a spider and wish you could go back to the needle.
Yeah.
So go to trymiracle.com/conservative and avoid that needle.
I've seen the needle and the damage done.
I mean, if
Cooler
William S.
sheets
Burroughs
for everyone. Oh, damage done. All right.
Was it the dick or was it the flu? I don't give a shit about you or your bitch ass crew.
Hey.
Yeah.
Them bars.
Beat that bitch with a bat. Speaking of beating bitches with a bat, yay for the D.
Oh, no.
New York Post says Hollywood might become the new Detroit after all the productions move out. While this is terrible news for the California economy, what is left of it anyway, it is great news for gas station owners and fountain designers. With the entertainment industry gone, LA will have to rely solely on human trafficking.
Yeah.
Woo!
I love that.
David, you've been kicked out of both Los Angeles and Detroit. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm in Detroit right now, and I got to say, I like it a bit better than LA. I'll admit it. And I always find it funny when people compare, like, listen, this society is going to crumble and your city's going to be the worst thing that ever happened, which is then compared to my hometown almost immediately. But I do see their point. If you do take out the thing that made it popular, if you take away the industry, I mean, there is little industry still here, but if you take it out of the city, there's no way that city can sustain itself. Especially, like, when you look at Detroit, it was the Paris of the Midwest. When you look at LA, you're talking about, like, $100 million homes, like amount of money that I don't even understand how you would buy a house for this. There's no way that economy can sustain without the power of show business. What are you going to buy? There's nothing else there.
Yeah.
There's an ocean and earthquakes.
Well, you're priced out of it. Like we were talking about it earlier, and it's a good parallel because there's both industry that's leaving, which Hollywood, they're going to Texas, they're going to Georgia, they're going all over the place, and not Hollywood because they've been priced out. And then you have the corruption in the government that's running the city. So then you have both of those at the same time causing havoc for people that live there. And then you, on top of that, a natural disaster that destroys half of the city for all the residents that have to live there. So what, are they going to move to another house? They can't afford that. They've been living there for a long time. And now they're going to get priced out. They can't build new homes. They're going to have to move somewhere else. So you're just going to see the entire city just go further and further down. It's tragic, really, because like I went there last summer, the summer before that. No, last summer. Met a lot of great people there. It's like I want people to be happy there, but you just can't. There's too much falling apart there.
Well, the new houses too and everything they put up, a lot of these people's homes were like partially insured because you have a wildfire deal, you have the issue with the ocean for flooding. You couldn't get fully insured for any of these homes. So much like, turn of the century in Detroit, you can go see some beautiful architecture that's still standing, that's made of concrete. But do you think that's what they're going to build in Malibu? Or do you think they're just going to slap together some drywall and put up some apartments that are just overpriced that fall apart in 4 years? I'll guess which one it is.
Well, it's corporations coming in, too. We had Gavin Newsom literally standing amongst the ashes saying, we're not talking about days, we're talking about hours. We're trying to get the people in here to buy up some of this property. Like, that was like part of it. That's your first plan, is not, hey, let's try to help the residents rebuild. It's, let's get corporations in here to buy up this property.
He's like, we've decided to get Mandy Moore's property. She's crying. She has a staircase left. We just want many celebrity homes so we can build condos in a city that doesn't function.
The parallel, the direct parallel between Los Angeles and Detroit is once again a lesson in what government builds, government will destroy.
Yeah.
Right? These were not just industries, these were protected industries. The auto industry in Detroit was a protected industry where the auto workers union got favorable treatment because they were the political power in the area. It's the same thing with all of California has been held hostage by Southern California wealth and unions. North California has been wanting to secede and become its own thing, Jefferson County, for years. Southern California is stealing water and resources from its own state. So if you need government to survive, you will eventually run out of other people's money. And then you look at other places, Florida, for example, Texas. Look at everything in Texas being nothing that California is, and everybody from California going there.
Yeah.
This is the lesson here. It's whatever you need government to sustain, it is going to eventually be destroyed because government, the power of it attracts the worst and it corrupts the best. So there's nobody that's going to look at the auto union, not cut a cherry deal because knowing that those 100,000 workers are then going to vote for you. But then what happens? Nobody could afford those workers. They move to Mexico. Congratulations, you've got this great labor deal with no factories to work in anymore.
Well, when your product is garbage for 5 years straight, and then on top of that, the pandemic, which Hollywood supported, by the way, Hollywood supported all of the lockdowns and the masking and the vaccinations and all that shit. And
I'd say more than supported, not to interrupt you. I was saying, enforced. I would say
100%.
Yeah. They were the backbone of it, David. Very good point.
They were the backbone foundation of the propaganda movement on all of this, and it led to movie theaters shutting down, Hollywood falling apart, box offices hurting, and all of these people getting left in the dirt. Like that is 100% your fault. You did that.
There's something that I call the politics of pain, and we'll get back to talking about coming on sheets in a second, folks. But
thank God.
But there's something I call the politics of pain, and I've lived through it, and I've seen it in my time in government. And to be specific about where I grew up in Jersey, what these people have learned as we balkanize our country more and more, as red states become redder and blue states become bluer, the more you hurt your own constituents, the ones that leave are the ones that would have voted you out. So there's a perverse profit incentive for, let's say, Democrats in California, especially as elections are coming up and recalls are coming, to make all the small business owners to make all the independent voters leave and go to Texas. In New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy won re-election in a state where there's 2 registered Democrats to every 1 Republican. He won re-election by only 100,000 votes. In the previous 4 years, because of his policies, 800,000 people had left the state. So by him making it worse for his people, it actually solidified his power. And that's something we saw in Detroit. That's something we saw with the lockdowns with Gretchen Whitmer.
Yeah.
And that's something we see in California. Now they struggle here becomes, okay, but who pays for our social programs? And I think that's where China would like to step up and be like, oh, hi, guys.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and Gretchen has finally been outed, definitely in Detroit, where people finally don't like her. In Michigan, I mean, there's a small percentage, but for the most part, people have gotten on board. But the stuff they do, too, is they do things that makes me just see corruption. Because I don't think there's a reason to stay in politics unless you're just somehow taking money. Like right now I'm looking at this giant, massive park that's going to be built in Detroit, and they're showing it, and there's slides and everything, and it's free. Why? I'm not saying that kids shouldn't have a place to go, but it's unnecessary. It's going to get taken over by gangs if it's not protected for long enough. It's an absurd thing. It just looks to me like, okay, here's how we're going to steal and move a bunch of money. Because there's no purpose that this serves, and we can give you any number we want and say that's what it cost. That's all I see when I see that stuff. And you see it a lot in places like California and everywhere else where they're just able to build something and sneak stuff under the radar. And it wouldn't be the first time. Every mayor in Detroit has used the same strategy to steal from the people. So why would this be any different?
And they fail forward. I mean, look at who the Democratic leaders for 2028 are, they're saying. AOC, going to run for president. Gretchen Whitmer. Gavin Newsom, who has been recalled in his own place. I mean, this is they're getting rewarded for going along with the grift, and I struggle with this personally. And I know you guys have a show on just to be honest, this is a political network, right? So it's I really struggle doing the Gerard versus Evil stuff because I just can't get mad every day about politics. I can't. I don't have it in me to be upset every day. I don't have it in me to fight a theoretical battle every single day with my neighbors. Like I want to know what connects us. I want to talk about what we have in common, not what drives us apart. And I see the same thing with the politicians where they're upset every day, and I'm just like, I hate you. Yeah, I hate you. I hate your guts. It's not real. I hate that you want to divide us every day. And I get it's an ideological dream to have another Washington who's like, do you guys know I got a farm that has hemp and like slaves? Like I just want to go home, man. I don't want to do this. Go home. It's just, then my favorite Roman guy. We're not going to go down a Roman rabbit hole here, but Cincinnatus, like they made him dictator. They used to have to come to the farm. They were like, please be our dictator. He's like, oh my God, fine, but like I'll give you a year and that's it. And they made him like dictator 4 times, and he kept going back to the farm, and he was like, can you people just figure this out? And they can't. And we don't have that guy. We don't have that culture in this country where it's like being a career politician is a very bad thing. Like the people should be like begging you to stay. Otherwise, we got to get these people out of there. People that have been in politics or government for 50 years, they deserve all the scrutiny in the world.
Yes, that is disgusting. There should not be people that are in Congress in 1995 still in Congress right now. Maybe 20 years is like max. We should make it a rule. Term limits completely. Like you can't move from another spot to another spot. Like if you're in Congress, you have a limited amount of time, and then you got to move on because like we're moving on past you because we have these people that have been like Bernie Sanders. He's been making money from the government his entire life.
Yeah, while calling everybody else oligarchs.
Right.
His third home.
It's like we just need we need a circulation of these people because it gets too stagnated, and we get people that sit on it and just start making millions and millions and millions of dollars because
selling us out to our enemies.
Yeah, and this is both sides, fucking both sides. Yeah. Literally, like it's cringe to do the both sides argument meme, but it's literally both sides. Which
is also a Will Smith movie coming out at the end.
Yes,
of the
yeah.
Yes.
We're back. He's going to drop an album too.
It's called Each End. It's a movie has
the pursuit of gappiness. Am I late? Am I late on that? Is that?
I already did it.
Oh, you did it already?
Yeah.
Oh, did I Carlos Mencia you?
Did
not on purpose. So
Sorry. Now I have to figure out a way to end his career so that I can just keep the joke.
Yeah. We could just give you Chappelle's show. They're not using it anymore.
Hey, buddy, have you been stealing things for 30 years? We can make you governor of California or give you Dave Chappelle's show.
I'll do it. Yeah, I'm just with both of you where I think if you haven't managed to achieve anything in a short amount of time, you should leave. And that's that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of looking at politics. And a lot of people who are on the left that I know are on the hard left hate Governor Newsom. So it's nice to see some people just shift and try to find it, because everybody's going to call you a pussy for sitting in any moderate area. But if you want to be logical and live in a society, you have to be able to at least have a conversation without setting a Tesla dealership on fire.
Yeah.
There has to be something.
And why are things eternal, right? Like, why are there not times where we need to be a little more progressive and times where we need to be a little more conservative? Like, why? Like, the way this was when I was a kid, when I think we had it figured out in the 80s and 90s. Like, we had it figured out.
I agree.
The Pax Romana, and it was like the Democrats are the gas and the Republicans are the brakes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of the way it worked. And too much gas, no brakes, you fall off the cliff. All brakes, no gas, you go nowhere. And that's, I don't know how we became, instead of gas and brakes, we became China and, isolationist. But
the thing is, like, that used to make sense. You used to be able to be like, okay, I know what progressives want and I know what conservatives want. And now it's kind of like they flip and flop and at least from I don't mean people, for the most part, I mean like the politicians.
The ideals.
The ideals of it, their talking points tend to shift all over the place all the time. It's like Elon. Guys, like 5-6 years ago, you were all about Elon and the electric car and gassing him up and saying, oh, he's the best billionaire of the century or whatever. And now all of a sudden he's the devil. And you're out burning innocent people's cars. Like, what are you talking about? What are you doing?
Well, they've switched the discourse from I disagree with your policies to you're an evil person.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing when it's like, and it really... It started for me with the second Obama election when it looked like he might lose to Romney, and they really ratcheted up the culture war after 2000, and also after 2008. A lot of people have done a lot of good work on this. Where 2008, the Occupy Wall Street happened, and for people that don't remember, I lived in that, and that was crazy. You saw like Black Panthers and KKK guys coming together and being like, the bankers are the real enemy, and that's when the banks, and that's the theory anyway, where everybody got together and was like, oh, we need ourselves a little race war here. They're getting a little too over the target here.
Too chummy.
Yeah, let's turn them against each other. Let's rattle the cage a little bit, and. We kind of did, right? We started like looking at each other like, hey, it's not that I disagree with you politically. You're just an evil person.
You're a heretic.
Yes, and look at what they've been able to achieve. The largest amount of credit card debt in American history, 11% interest rates on houses, 30% interest rates on credit cards. The amount of money that they've been able to get away with by dividing us is so obvious and in our face since Occupy Wall Street. It had to be something that was a racial divide. And it's still functioning. It's still functioning in America, and it's worked perfectly. And we're getting dumber because we're all dopamine freaks who just want to sit there and be fed by our phone constantly. We give kids tablets. We're just, and I'm guilty of it just the same as anybody else. But we're not going to get anything done when everybody wants to do the same thing, which is just bitch. And that's all we've been able to accomplish at this point.
Yeah, that's a great point, Dave. We're not only just getting dumber, but we're also getting number, too. Like, there's nothing...
And more addicted, yeah. Once you use that dopamine... But honestly, your brain's going to eventually stop caring about a lot of things.
I don't have... You're right. I don't have it in me to fight anymore. If people want to fight online, I'm like, I don't know. People were like, there's a 200-meter column underneath the Pyramid of Giza. I'm like, all right, why wouldn't there be? Sure, turns out,
that it was wrong. Yeah. Most of the data is like,
Israel killed Kennedy. Okay, sure, why not? Beyonce is the best country music singer on earth. Yeah, all right, sure she is. Whatever, dude. Like,
there's like that Keanu Reeves quote where it's like, all right, 2 + 2 is 5. Whatever, enjoy your day. It's how I feel a lot of the times talking to people because you can't. They also just spit quotes at you that they've read on the internet. You've heard 5,000 times.
Oh my God, yeah.
where I'm like, no, I get it. Facts don't care about your feelings. You didn't have to say that. It's already on your shirt.
Exactly.
I get where you've been brainwashed, but what do you actually think? How do you actually feel? And I think people are so numb, they don't actually know how they feel. I think they've been so taught at this point that they are just reciting just garbage, assuming that's how they feel strongly about something, when in reality, gun to your head, last moments of your life, you couldn't give a fuck about any of this stuff. And if we don't have humanity or some kind of way, I'm not saying people should get along. You need hypocrisy. It would be, but you kind of need hypocrisy to run. You need it for comedy. You need it for a lot of things. People shouldn't agree on everything, but you should be able to have actual conversations in order to make progress. And the problem is the left, which was progress, is now regressive. So what do you do at that point where that's become nothing but violence?
Yep.
I don't know where to land.
Yeah, you're right. And it's, they say that they have a messaging problem. We have a messaging problem. No, you have a messenger problem. These people genuinely are angry. They want violence. It's not a slip up when they're like, oh, Luigi's great. No, they believe it. They wish that they had the wherewithal within them to be as violent. And Dave, you're right. They're not progressive. What they are is aggressive. And nobody wants to be lectured at by some condescending Ivy Leaguer that has never actually worked a day in their life. They've never Well,
it was the opposite in the 90s, in the 80s. It was the Ivy Leaguer, conservative family, rich person that was like the bad guy.
WASP.
Yeah, they were the one talking down to you, and you're like, I just want to live my life, right? Yep. And then it flipped. And it became the left were the Ivy Leaguer rich people that are saying, you're not living your life the way I want you to live. So now you're an evil person and you should be unpersoned. You shouldn't be on the internet. You should be out. You should, in fact, not even be in my city. That's how it flipped.
You're right. And
it's so aggressive.
But it happened through the education industrial complex where we started looking at blue collar people as failures. Oh, you're an electrician? What happened? You couldn't get into college? Oh, you're a plumber. What happened?
Loser.
Yeah. And that
we vitalized money. And sorry, go ahead. But yeah.
But it wasn't money, Dave. That's the problem. They were promised, if they got their PhD in basket weaving, they'd make $500,000 a year. And then they looked at the electrician making $200,000 a year while they're making $30,000 a year as an adjunct professor and going, this society's messed up. This society's broken because I'm the smart one. Why is he rich? And that's where all of this jealousy and this condescension comes from. They think they should get paid for who they are, not for what they offer. They'll never stand in a foot of shit a day in their life, and then they'll wonder why the guys that will are getting all the money, right? That's the disconnect here, is that we've valued being obedient over being productive. I mean, is there anything in your life, Angela, in your life, QB, is there anything that somebody hyper-progressive has built for you? They just destroy.
If you think about it, though, the problem is if you do argue and you do, like, civilly have a conversation, argue, what that is that's ideas. If we're doing even a sketch, for example, and you have a different idea and you have a different idea, and my knee-jerk reaction is to be offended that you didn't feel that my idea was more valid, that's what society has become. It's basically Family Ties, where Michael J. Fox is the Republican kid, to the hippie adults. Like we've switched, but we're not able to share ideas because everybody is so easily triggered, and that's what they want to have. There's no way there can be growth unless you're willing to talk to each other and come to some kind of consensus. You can't build anything without the sharing of ideas, and that's what they've been able to take away from us. Nobody's building things anymore that are really that revolutionary, except for things that can actually destroy mankind.
AI?
And that's not. Yeah, that's
like literally
why. It's not even being dramatic. Exactly, Garrett. It's just that's the facts. They're just building things that can make human beings useless, and that's the scariest part of all of this. Is we are making it so we'll go extinct, and for what?
Yeah, and it definitely doesn't feel like we're on the same team. That was the big difference when you were. I grew up in a house where my mom was a Democrat, my dad's a Republican. I don't even think that's
mine was a whore.
I don't even think that's legal anymore. So it's like but we were all on the same team, and it doesn't feel that way. And speaking of teams, did you know in the WNBA? Did you know this? This is
stop right there.
You might know this, Angela.
Nope.
More people. Did you know that more people have walked on the moon, allegedly? More people have walked on the moon than have scored against Mariano Rivera in the playoffs.
Who's
And more
Mari-
people.
That sounds like a delicious Italian dish.
And more people have scored against Mariano Rivera in the playoffs than have dunked in the WNBA.
It really does make me hungry.
Wow.
Yeah, it sounds good.
And yet still more people have dunked in the WNBA than have been arrested in relationship to the Jeffrey Epstein trials.
What happened to that?
Which has had, at this point, 2 arrests, Jeffrey Epstein and
Maybe we should
Ghislaine
get on
Maxwell.
this tomorrow. I think we should come back tomorrow.
Yeah, we got a
and
big
discuss
story about
this.
that.
You've been teasing the heck out of us now.
But
now
you know
the
what?
audience is going to have blue balls. What's going on?
You know what?
That's
Something.
good. You want to leave him a
Wait.
cliffhanger.
Leave him a clit.
Leave them on a clit hanger. What did
You know what's something that conservatives have built
What's that?
that is good?
What's that?
Blaze.
This network right here.
Oh.
That's right. They're doing another show, a new show, and we have
Yeah.
new
So
host.
So Back to the People. Nicole Shanahan. It's called Back to the People.
That's right.
She's a Silicon Valley attorney, entrepreneur, and advocate who spent years fighting for transparency, freedom, and real change. She's been a major voice in the Maha movement. Maha.
What is my?
she's a total babe. Am I allowed to say that?
You're
She's
allowed to say that.
Total babe.
So
why she
her
has
new
a show?
show is coming soon. You can catch that, and also for just $8 a month, the price of a fancy cup of coffee. If you use the promo code NORMAL at checkout, you can get a Blaze subscription. Not that. That's
There
there
you
you go.
go.
And just $8 a month.
Come on.
with
Let
ya.
them know that you watch our show and you support it.
I think she'd be a
We appreciate
great
you.
governor of California, Nicole Shanahan.
Literally anybody would be better than what they have.
Very true.
So
Yeah.
it's unfortunate about
Do you
So
think you
there
could
are
do that
What
job?
else?
that. Oh yeah,
You could do that job?
yeah for sure. I got it.
I'm already
And
I'm already doing more than Gavin is.
Angela, get over there. Get over there, run that country.
And now
You're
let's
coming.
go
You're going to be on the show tomorrow, right?
I'll be back.
Heck yeah! All right, let's do it. Sorry, Dave.
I'm sorry. No. End of the world. Right. I'd like to ask you, sexy babies.
Oh.
That's a Taylor Swift quote.
Can't say sexy babies.
She sings it in her song. She goes, "Sexy baby," and I laugh every time I've heard it. 'cause
Babies
it's so
are
weird.
notoriously not sexy.
Yeah.
But that's what Taylor Swift says. She sings "Sexy baby."
Okay, well then it's okay.
I think we've been calling women baby for a long time, and I don't want to know why or where that came
That
from.
is a good
Ugh,
point.
it
I'm also
is.
not okay with daddy. That's also
No.
very weird.
What if it's said
No.
in Espanol?
That's different. It's fine.
Very much so.
Daddy-o.
Daddy-o?
You freaking racist.
Daddy.
It's Poppy, you.
Okay, all right.
What are you from the 1950s?
Poppy?
Daddy-o?
Hey,
Yeah,
Daddy-o.
Aren't all greasers Italian?
Hey, hey.
No way.
Hey, Daddy-o.
What are the names?
It'd be weird if someone's like, "Hey, Daddy-o." You'd be like, "I'm sorry, what?"
Excuse me?
And daddy.
Hey,
where's
Mon
the rest of the Thunderbirds?
Bonjour.
All right. What would you rather do than go to Coachella, Gerard?
Probably have the script in front of me at some point.
We can come back to you.
Yeah, I think so. Which is also
I've got one.
which is also the name of a Will Smith movie that's coming out.
Oh, see what
you're
you
good.
did there. Give Kevin Spacey gas station boner pills and then bring him for bring him for pizza at Chuck E. Cheese. I'd rather do that.
I think I'd rather do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Angela.
watch Lena Dunham and the girl from The Last of Us have a menses fight.
I'm gonna say braid Whoopi's bush.
Oh, with the dreads? You got dreads
Yeah.
going? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cornrows?
Wax my old boss's chest.
Oh, ooh.
Sorry. Inside joke.
Kind of the same.
Yeah. Basically, Whoopi. Gerard?
You got one, Gerard?
I think I'd rather go to space with Katy Perry.
Oh,
That's a
yeah, of
solid
course.
one.
Yeah, up in
I
that
think-
rocket.
I think you win on that one.
For sure.
All
Went to
right.
space.